Right, the absolute emotional roller coaster ride of Chinese bike ownership. I own a Cove 525X and we're loaded up for a day's adventure with a bit of camping and some noodles. My good mate Kian is joining on a CF Moto NK250 street bike. Two up-and-coming Chinese motorcycle manufacturers. We're super excited to be getting on our way. But almost straight away, he's signalling me to pull over. Whatever is the matter? He pulls up alongside and tells me my luggage is open. I was worried for a second, but I get to fix it and give you guys a slice of crotch. Oh yes. And herein lies today's discussion. When problems arise on the horizon and loom large, often the emotions can go down, and they usually return if you're able to fix the problem and overcome it. Like this nutter in the middle of the road, Keon manages to dodge out the way, maintaining life and limb. Bonus. And Chinese bike ownership, I think, is kind of fundamentally chained to this idea. Because what's the major criticism or question mark over buying and owning a Chinese motorcycle? It's maintenance and reliability, right? Well, if you've watched any videos on this channel, you've probably seen that I have oft owned Chinese copies of small engine Japanese bikes, a GN125 featuring prominently. Well, that bike was Chinese made, pennies to buy, pennies to maintain, pennies to fix, and I absolutely loved it. It took me on many an adventure and allowed me to broaden my horizons and learn and see more about the area in which I live. The fact that I had to, on a semi-regular occasion, take it down to the mechanics and get stuff fixed was neither here or there. Because, and here's the key point, it was always absolutely dirt cheap to fix and or replace any problem parts or any issues that crept up. So even if you were out on an adventure, came across an issue, you'd get it fixed and you'd be stressing, you'd be worried, like, is this the end of this crappy old Chinese bike? And you get down the mechanics and they'd fix it for like £1, like $2 or something, and then it would be so cheap it actually just felt like a win. It felt like you added something to your adventure. Now, most people, when they're considering buying Chinese bikes, aren't considering buying like an 8 or 10-year-old copy of a GN125. So, what are they considering? Perhaps something like the bikes we're riding today. And lo and behold, a problem came up. That rattling emerged just as we were entering the twisties, and the interesting bit, and a little bit of investigation told us that there was something up with the front hub. You can see it's not fitting flush to the axle there, and given that rattling, we were guessing it was wheel bearings. So here the adventure was tainted by our mechanical misfortune, and this is the low, right? This is scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I'm sure Keon's wondering, how am I going to get this fixed? How much is it going to cost me? Oh, gutted, missing out on the trip. So off he went towards the nearest CF Moto garage, and I continued on my lonesome, off to go and make stuff out of clay. That was the plan for that day. Keon very helpfully sent us through a few videos so we could see what happened when he got there. So here, the roller coaster of emotions is high because he's managed to get to the place rather than be stranded on the side of the road. Let's see what these engineers can do.
其实有拉带的话更好一点。
这是这个东西吧？
这里
里面 oh yeah, the bearings.
Yeah, it was the bearings. So this guy is planning on knocking the bearing all the way through the hub to push it out the other side. Not being an expert, I wouldn't like to say, but that's not the way I would expect is the correct way to do that. but I'm sure he'll figure it out. And again, here's the thing. Like, that bike brand new, that NK 250 from CF Moto, is probably about 16 or 17,000 RMB. That's less than $3,000, comfortably less than $3,000, maybe 2,000 Great British pounds. So you haven't paid for the upper echelons of engineering, nor should you expect it, right? He is eventually going to figure out that you turn it over. There you go. And we'll see what state that bearing's in. Oh, look at it. The housing's crushed. The bearing in a right old state. Now, here's the gulp moment. How much is it going to cost? Oh, my God. It cost him less than a fiver. About $6, if that. And he was on the road riding straighter and truer than ever before. That's a win. That's in the W column, that one. You've got to love Chinese mics, man. Come on, get on board.